Welcome to Module 2 of Lesson Number 2 of Heal the Cell, Heal the Body. What is detoxification and why you need it? I'm going to start off today by covering toxins and inflammation. Toxins have been proven to be one of the top contributors to inflammation, as they trigger an inflammatory response in your body. Yes, inflammation is a natural defense mechanism of the body to tell the body to repair itself, but chronic or excessive inflammation can harm your cells. Inflammation leads to changes in the permeability of your cell membranes, and this impacts your nutrient absorption. And as the membranes get inflamed, your cells can't communicate the way that they should either. Toxins can also harm the DNA within your cells, which is vitally important because your DNA carries the codes that are instructions for all the functions of life in your body. Toxins lead to mutations, and these mutations can disrupt normal cell growth and division. In some instances, this results in uncontrolled cell growth, which leads to cancer. If you think your cells are just simple building blocks, unconscious and static as bricks in a wall, think again. Cells can detect what's going on around them, and they can respond in real time to cues from their neighboring cells and their environment. At this very moment, your cells are sending and receiving millions of messages in the form of chemical signaling molecules. This process is called cell signaling. Cells communicate using these chemical signals, which are proteins and are mainly in the form of enzymes. Enzymes are substances called catalysts, and they speed up the chemical reactions in your cells. But toxins damage your enzymes, so the cell signaling is compromised. Our cell's communication is an amazing process. Signals produced by a sending cell can float like messages in a bottle over to a neighboring cell. They communicate with what we call target cells, which are cells that have the ability to hear the message of the sending cell. Toxins interfere with these messages, which are also called cell signaling pathways. The messages get disrupted, and the miscommunication interrupts critical processes of your cells. This entire process leads to the destruction of other cells, tissues, and organs. Sadly, in many cases, the result is serious health conditions. Now that I've explained how toxins generally affect the cells, I'm going to go into more specifics about the different types of toxins that we have to deal with. First, let's look at how the foods we eat impact us. There is an important connection between our food supply and our cells. When we eat fats, carbohydrates, and proteins, we turn them into energy through a long series of chemical reactions. Remember, we already talked about the importance of enzymes. Every chemical step to change our foods into fuel requires an enzyme, and enzymes require vitamins and minerals to help the chemical reaction take place. Unfortunately, enzymes are very sensitive to chemical toxins and heavy metals. When our fruits, vegetables, and non-organic grains, including but not only wheat, become tainted with herbicides, pesticides, and glyphosate, the enzymes needed to create our fuel become poisoned. The poisoning of these enzymes causes their reaction speed to slow way down, and the cells and tissues become toxic. Glyphosate has been shown to downregulate over 200 enzymes. The environmental chemicals also suppress the liver and the kidney's abilities to detox. People of all ages are suffering from ADHD and respiratory stress like asthma. One of the contributing factors is the fact that our food supply has been genetically modified and sprayed with herbicides, pesticides, and glyphosate. Many people have undetected food allergies and sensitivities due to the use of these toxins. These foods have a half-life of 56 days. Let me explain what that means. This is a little complex, but really important to know. If you eat a food you are sensitive to, your immune system responds because it sees the food as an antigen or foreign invader. It sends antibodies to fight the perceived antigen for 28 days, and then for an additional 28 days, your immune system sends half the number of antibodies to fight the perceived threat. That means that some foods cause a 56-day immune response in your body. This is a long-term immune response that greatly impacts your overall health. Sadly, our food supply represents one of the greatest challenges confronting our immune systems. Now let me introduce you to vectors. Directly reported by the World Health Organization, vector-borne diseases are human illnesses caused by parasites, viruses, and bacteria that are transmitted by vectors. Vectors are living organisms that can transmit infectious pathogens between humans or from animals to humans. Many of these are blood-sucking insects, which ingest disease-producing organisms during a blood meal from an infected human or animal. The insect then transmits it into a new host, and you just might be the new host. Once a vector becomes infectious, it is capable of transmitting the pathogen for the rest of its life during each subsequent bite or blood meal. The most common vectors are mosquitoes, fleas, lice, black flies, and ticks. So basically, we are all susceptible to being infected with pathogens by common insects. Another reality is that certain toxins, particularly those produced by bacteria, can create pores or holes in your cell's membrane. This results in the leakage of ions, nutrients, and other molecules across the membrane. When this happens, the cell can no longer fight infection, produce energy, or maintain homeostasis. And toxins produced by viruses can bind to specific receptors on the cell membrane, enter the cell, and make unwanted changes to the whole DNA structure of the cell. This often results in cell death and disease. Another process that is concerning is the fact that pathogens are capable of producing biofilms. This is a protective layer made of fats and glucose that is formed around the pathogen that protects it from herbs, antibiotics, and your immune system. The biofilms have to be broken down to effectively deal with the pathogen. Now we're going to take a deep dive into parasites. We are all living with parasites. We're talking about nasty critters like tapeworms, roundworms, ropeworms, and flukes. There is quite a variety of parasites that infect us. They can be large, small, microscopic, and cellular in size. Although they are not widely recognized and discussed, we have one or more types of parasites living in our bodies, even in modern first world countries. They are a common part of our westernized world. Your animals are not only the ones that need to handle their worms. Parasites gobble up other toxins in your body, and your body has to deal with not only the parasites, but everything that they have ingested. Our bodies require a large amount of energy to deal with the toxicity dumped into them by parasites. If you have a weak stomach, you may want to close your eyes for a few minutes and just listen, because I'm going to share some pictures of large parasites that were excreted by me and many of my clients. It is very easy to contract parasites, even when living a clean and healthy lifestyle. They sneak into our bodies when we eat raw foods like sushi and even raw fruits and vegetables, by drinking tap water, by touching infected doorknobs, and touching our pets. We can contract them when walking barefoot in the grass. These parasites set up shop in your digestive tract, and they love your gut, where they can tear holes in your gut lining and cause uncomfortable gastrointestinal issues. Does anyone deal with pungent gas, bloating, stomach aches, or cramps, nausea, constipation, or loose stools? If you do, the cause may be parasites. They feed off of the nutrients we consume, as well as our neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. This causes us to become susceptible to disease, chronic illness, and even anxiety and depression because we become deficient in vital nutrients and deficient in the neurotransmitters that keep us feeling emotionally well. But the misery of parasite infestation can extend beyond the GI tract. Here's a list of other surprising symptoms that may result from parasites: fatigue, sugar cravings, constant hunger, even after eating a large meal, joint pain, rashes or hives, rosacea and eczema, poor sleep, itching and irritation of the anus and genitals and the ears, fevers, and even anemia. Some parasites bore into our muscles and cause aches and pains that result in conditions that the medical world labels itis or algia. Fibromyalgia, dermatitis, cellulitis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, encephalitis, or colitis. Certain parasites become active at night and around the time of a full moon. They come out of their hibernating state to feed or reproduce. These are times when you may see a clear increase in your symptoms, not realizing that they are caused by the activity of the parasites in your body. Some have a full life cycle in the body. They hatch eggs, and handling the entire life cycle is complex and necessary. As you can see, parasites can make you, their host, feel miserable in a wide variety of ways. But even more unsettling is the fact that parasites may give you no apparent symptoms, but play a huge part in unsolvable issues like hormone imbalances, inflammatory diseases, and autoimmune diseases. The extent of the damage they can cause is great, as they thrive in bodily areas other than the digestive tract and significantly disrupt cellular function. According to Dr. Lee Merritt, in a recent autopsy study of multiple sclerosis patients who died from the disease, 100% had parasites inside their central nervous system, and not only in their spinal column, but also in their brain. Parasites are a hidden contributor to osteoporosis, as they feed off the calcium lining of our bones. And parasite egg sacs, when viewed under a microscope, mimic cancer cells. This raises questions about the pathological similarities and the link between cancer and chronic parasitic egg sac inflammation. As you can see, a combination of toxins invade, suppress, and compromise our cells. If we don't deal with them through proper detoxification, all disease processes can exist, and to the point that the human body can no longer exist. For that reason, clearly understanding the impact of toxins on our cellular health magnifies the importance of minimizing exposure to harmful substances and adopting lifestyle choices that support the well-being of our cells. Don't let this lesson leave you feeling hopeless and helpless. There is hope. The body was designed to heal. Decreasing the pathogen and overall toxic load in your body through detoxification, proper nutrition, and a healthy mindset will open pathways so energy can be produced and the body can heal. Effective detoxification is a complex process, but I am here to offer understanding, encouragement, and a plan. Choose a few action steps to support your body's natural detoxification mechanisms. You can start by eating more leafy greens. Make sure that you are drinking plenty of filtered water, and even implement other detox supports like the practice of dry brushing to stimulate lymphatic drainage. These are good places to start. Your next best step is to begin a personalized detoxification program with us at Masters Design Holistic Health Solutions. We offer in-house and virtual appointments. We get to the root of what is causing your problems, and we created a personalized cellular detox plan to help you heal your cells and heal your body. Thank you for the opportunity to help you understand what detoxification is and why you need it. I look forward to sharing with you again in our nutrition program, Nourished, Food and Life Choices that bring energy and overall wellness, as well as our mindset program, Elevated. Nothing changes until your mindset changes. At Masters Design, we are passionate about holistic health, and we are always available and happy to support you on your wellness journey.